Hey guys, just making sure I watch where I step there. But anyway, I want to talk about, give my 2 cents on something that's been going on. Now, I haven't watched his channel as much as I think anybody else has, but apparently another situation occurred in a community that we all are fans of and we all support. And sometimes we even participate in. And that is the reviewers community. And it doesn't matter whether or not it's a community, a subsection of that community that's dedicated towards comic books. It doesn't matter if it's a subsection that's dedicated towards music, movies, or even television or games in this matter. A lot of us enjoy watching reviews or even doing reviews. So for any of us, whether or not we make a living doing it or we just do it for fun or as a hobby, for us to hear something like what ProJared did is kind of it's kind of disappointing. Again, now I haven't watched ProJared's videos that much. I mean, I know he's worked with people like James Wolfe. He's worked with people like, I think, Angry Joe. He's worked with Animat, or he's acknowledged Animat, stuff like that. But the point is, whether or not he's worked with them, conversed with them, met with them, whatever, the fact that ProJared would do what he did really kind of put a stain on the community that it didn't need. Now, here's the thing. A lot of communities in recent years, both reviewer communities of any kind, fan communities of any kind, have all faced a lot of moments that have basically shed a negative light on the presence. ProJared cheating on his wife is just the most recent example. Last year, ToonKrytic, as he's known, or he was known in the community, was basically spotlighted out, if you will, about what he was doing. He was basically pointed out, he was circled it out, if you will. I can't think of the word right now. He was basically, I guess you could say, exposed, if you will, for what he was doing behind the scenes. And for a bit, it really put a stain on the Brony and Pegasus community, the Riff Cafe portion of that community, the TF analysis community. And everybody has had to come out and basically explain not only the association they had, with ToonKrytic, but also explain the reasoning, legit reasonings, as to why they're no longer associating with him and why they did what they did, and how it was at the time, and still at times is a bit of a rebuilding process to try to move on from moments like that, from situations like that. But ProJared and ToonKrytic are just more recent examples. Sometimes a black stain, a negative stain, I should say, a negative stain could be put onto a community like the reviewers community in a subsection of that, even when someone is deceased, someone has passed. One person known as JewWario is a good example. Everybody was saddened when he did what he did to himself, taking his own life. But later on, revelations came out about what JewWario was really up to. what he was really about. And any sympathy that people like Doug Walker, people like Louis Lovehog, aka Linkara, any sympathy that Bennett the Sage, if you will, any sympathy and sadness and any fond memories they had of JewWario were wiped away when the revelations came out about what he has done. So for the recent reports about ProJared and what he's done, I don't know all the facts. And now some may say cheating on your wife is not that big of a black stain. It's not a big black stain. It's nothing really, as bad as to what ToonKrytic and JewWario have been known to do. And that might be true. And that might be true in the eyes of some. But still, if you come off as someone that basically visually in front of those that respect you and what you contribute to the reviewer's business, to the community, when you show yourself as being a man that loves his wife, loves his family, and then all of a sudden you decide to go against that and you cheat on that very person that you tell people you care about more than anything, it's going to make people not want to associate with you anymore. I mean, you basically come off as a liar, as someone that cannot be trusted. People look at what's happened behind the scenes at Channel Awesome, and Doug still has his fans. Channel Awesome still has the supporters. But what's happened behind the scenes at Channel Awesome may not have been, like I said, as negative of a showcase behind the scenes at times as to what was happening with ToonKrytic and JewWario. I mean, there were moments, there were situations, don't get me wrong, that could be put in that same category as to what ToonKrytic and JewWario belong in, and from what they did. There were moments from what a lot of people that have used to work for Channel Awesome, used to contribute to Channel Awesome, would say about the guy, the head boss behind all that, Mike, or Michael as he's known. And the truth is, even though some of what he would be accused of is in that same category as ToonKrytic and JewWario and what they've done, everything else behind the scenes pales in comparison. The point is, or may in the eyes of some pale in comparison, but the point is, some will look at what ProJared did and say, yeah, it's bad, and yeah, it puts a negative light on us, because basically someone like Jared essentially has come out and been proven to be a liar and proven to be unfaithful. But some would say it's nothing compared to what ToonKrytic and JewWario and even some of what that Michael guy who's the head of Channel Awesome has been accused of doing. They would say that. People would say that. But the thing is, no matter what the situation has been over the past several years, no matter what the situation, moments like this, situations like this, recently over the past week or so with ProJared, over the past year with the revelations of what ToonKrytic has done, done when he was part of the Brony and Pegasus the Rift Cafe community. And even in death, what JewWario has been revealed to do. And even what this Michael guy behind the scenes at Channel Awesome has been accused of doing. The point is, things like this have to stop. Things like this have to be stopped. They have to come to an end. Communities like this, where people, whether they make a living or they don't make a living, you know, with the content that they provide, the contributions they make, this needs to end. This needs to end. We do not, in any shape, form, or fashion, need these kind of negative marks on the communities. We do not need people looking at us in a negative light and basically in their eyes getting more fuel, more armor, more weaponry to go against us and say, see, this is why this shouldn't be around. This shouldn't be a thing. This should be over with. We need to stop. The negativity that gets shed upon communities like this needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. We no longer need revelations of someone cheating on their wife or someone being accused of, you know, underage sexual predication or sexual abuse or harassment. We don't need that anymore. What we need is a community. Sorry about that. The battery died on the phone, but on the camera, I should say. But like I said, we need this to stop. We need this to come to an end. We do not need this kind of negative light shown on us. Because like I said, all it does is give those detractors, the people that have always looked at communities like ours, we were reviewers of games, movies, comic books, music, you know, technology, products, whatever, toys. Or if we're fans of a certain, or if we're part of a certain fandom's community like My Little Pony, we do not need this kind of negative publicity put onto this community anymore. This needs to stop. We don't need any more news about someone cheating on the wife or someone having, you know, been accused or been exposed for underage sexual gratification or sexual harassment or abuse behind the scenes because they're the head honcho of an internet website, viewing a video company. We don't need that anymore. What we need is positivity. We need positive light. We don't need this crap anymore. So I urge anybody that's watching, that if you associate with someone, that what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is do a background check on that person. Find out all the information you need about that person. So that way, you can find out whether or not they're worth working with. And if you can't, you know what you do? You keep a close eye on them. You check in on them, if you have to. Every now and then you check in on them, see how things are doing. Find out how things are. But you keep an eye on them. You keep a close ear to the ground, you keep a close eye on them. You watch them. That's what needs to be done. These things need to stop, ladies and gentlemen. They need to stop now. No longer should any of these kind of communities deal with crap like this. No more. No more. But here's the thing. Like I said, some people will be upset with ProJared. Some will not want to associate with him anymore. But some will even say that what he's done is not that big of a deal. Some will say just because he cheated on his wife doesn't mean they can't go to marriage counseling and make up and things will be alright. That might be all true, but here's the facts. It'll still be something that people will point out to him. And yeah, ProJared may come out and apologize for his actions. But you know what? A lot of people will say it's too late. Some will accept it. But the thing is, the way I look at it, whether it's a small thing or it's a big thing, it's something that should never happen. It should never be acknowledged. Or never should be thought of. The thing is, negative stuff like this needs to be wiped away. And it needs to be wiped away now. And that's all I'm going to say on it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'll talk to y'all later.